All right, it's about that time. Welcome to Equipped on a Friday evening. Coach Matt here. I'm going to take you through a great hip hinge workout today. A lot of swings, a good bit of hamstring glute action. So we're going to make sure we get those nice and warmed up. So standing nice and tall with feet about hip width apart. We're going to push those hips back and kind of practice that hinge. So kind of shooting for a right angle at that hip. That chest looking down at the ground, head is looking the same direction, back is nice and flat. Should feel a good stretch through those hamstrings. We're going to pull those hips forward, squeezing those glutes. Make sure we finish that that hinge all the way up at the top. We're just going to go back and forth here, working on that hinge. Just make sure those hamstrings are ready, and we're getting that glute activation, squeezing those glutes at the end of each rep. So it should be nice and tight through that core and that upper back as well, not compensating in any of those places. About two more here. Big range of motion through those hips, pushing them far back and driving them forward. Once you feel pretty good with that, you can pull your kettlebell, your dumbbell, whatever you have. We're going to kind of use that hip hinge for a deadlift. So we're going to put that weight right between our feet. We're going to get that hinge and just make our way down to that weight. And we'll do the same thing with that hinge. All right. So if the ground's a little bit too far away, if you're using dumbbells or your kettlebell's a little bit smaller, can't make it down to the ground, that's fine. We still want to get that hip hinge and driving through. So we're just adding a little weight to that hip hinge. Nothing else is going to change. Should feel those hamstrings getting stretched out at the bottom of that deadlift, and then we're squeezing those glutes, driving those hips forward at the top of that deadlift. Squeezing each and every rep. Let's go two more. Last one. And we'll bring it all the way down. All right, sufficiently warmed up through that lower body. We're going to warm up those shoulders and that upper back. A little bit different movement here. I don't really have a name for it. So this is what it's going to look like. We're going to kind of get like an upside down field goal here. Think about kind of flat across, like no rotation in those shoulders. Getting those elbows up, upper arms are parallel to the ground. So it should feel automatically kind of the back of those shoulders working. What we're going to do from here is we're going to rotate those arms 180 degrees all the way up. All right, so it should feel that upper back kind of squeeze. And then we're going to push those arms up overhead, full extension. Again, should feel that upper back still nice and tight. Then we're just going to reverse. We're going to pull those arms down, putting effort into it like you would a pull-up, kind of stopping to where those upper arms are parallel to the ground. We're going to swing those arms, again, down that 180 degrees. And we're just going to reverse that for a couple more reps in control all the way through. Big punch up. Just looking for some control in those shoulders, in those shoulder blades. Testing that range of motion, mobility through those shoulders. Try not to push the pace of this. I want you to be very intentional as you go through. We'll go one more time here all the way around. Nice little burn through those shoulders already. Pulling down with intent. Rotating it all the way back around. And relax. All right, loosey-goosey. We're going to finish up with some thoracic rotations with some good old-fashioned windmills. So we're going to take our feet about shoulder width apart. We'll stick that left hand up in the air. We're going to sheet those hips towards that left side. Other hand's going to slide down your right leg, moving all the way down towards your ankle as close to it as possible. Once you hit that bottom position, we can hold that for an extra second if we want to. Otherwise, we're just going to slide that back up. Boom. We're going to go one more time, side side. Push that hip out. Sliding that hand down. Feel some pressure release, throw that low back. Good. We'll switch sides. So again, whatever hand is up in the air, We're going to cheat our hips out towards that direction and sliding down that opposing leg. Once you look up at that top hand, that's what's going to allow us to get that rotation through that thoracic spine. Let's go again. Nice and slow, smooth as we go down. And driving it back up. All right. So we're going to hop into the main event today. We have probably going to shoot for 5 rounds. Might only get for 4. We'll do the best that we can. We have a few different movements to look through. We have some swings, clean and press, some single arm swings, and some snatches. Okay, so we're gonna go. We're kind of gonna do the first round all together, just one by one, just so we don't overload with information. So very first movement is gonna be a kettlebell swing, but we're gonna do a staggered single arm swing. All right, so what we're looking for, as those feet are typically straight across as we swing, I want you to just kind of slide one foot backwards, kind of like a heel to toe distance. That's going to be our staggered stance. Whatever foot is back, that is going to be the hand that you are using for your single arm swing. All right, we're just going to do 5 of them. We're reaching out, pulling that kettlebell back and driving forward. We're going to go for 5. There's 4. And 5, we'll put that kettlebell right back down in front. We're going to switch those feet so the other foot is staggered a little bit backwards. Again, whatever foot is backwards, we're going to use that hand for our swing, pull and press for 5, 4, and 5. Good. So remember those swings, again, those hinges, those deadlifts, all the same thing. Hips go backwards, hips go forward. Same thing on that swing, hips go backwards, hips go forward. All right, just like the deadlift is kind of the vertical version of this, your swing is horizontal. All right, everything else stays the same. Second movement is our clean and press. Again, single arm, whichever side you want to start with. We're coming from that hip, pulling to the shoulder. We're going to kind of take a quick pause at that shoulder so we're not carrying any momentum. So it's a relatively strict press up overhead. Pull that back down and then coming back down. All right, so again, we got 5 of those. And taking a quick pause at that shoulder just to stop that momentum. If you've got a little bit heavier weight and you do need to use those legs, you can. But I want you to do everything you can to go strict first and use those legs only when absolutely necessary. Once you get those 5, we'll switch it over to the other hand. Another 5 on that side. Abs are nice and tight as we press up overhead. Shoulders are feeling good from that range of motion work that we did in that warm-up. There's 4. We got one last one. And 5. All right. I can't really see, but hopefully we're not just doing a bicep curl, right? We're actively using those hips to help push that weight and kind of pull that up with momentum to that shoulder. All right, don't just use all arm, use those hips. All right. Next one is going to be a little bit of a block. It's a single arm, double arm swing kind of combo. So what we're going to do is we're going to swing 5 times with one hand. We're going to do 5 swings with 2 hands, 5 swings with the other hand, another 5 swings together. Okay? So 5, 5, 5, 5. Okay, so we'll do 10 with 2 hands. So let's go ahead and do it. Feet are our regular stance, same width. Let's go whichever hand you want to start with. We're going to do 5 single arm. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to try to switch right into that double arm swing for 5, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to go right into that other hand, keeping that kettlebell moving. 4. We're going to go back to 2 hands for our last 5, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. So just a big set of 20 on those swings, just a little diversity in there to work on that coordination, switching from one hand, two hands to one hand, etc., etc. All right. We got a few rounds to practice that. Don't worry about it. All right, then our final movement is going to be a snatch. So same as that clean, same starting position, but instead of pausing at that shoulder, we're going to go directly overhead. All right. So we're pulling all the way up to that overhead position. You guessed it, 5 each arm here. Again, strong overhead position. Make sure those abs are tight. Once you get those 5, switch to that other side. Trying to keep that weight nice and close, just like I talked about that clean. Want to get those hips involved, not just pulling with the arm, but getting those hips in there as well. All right, once you get your 5, we're going to take a quick break, a little rest at the end of the round. Good time to evaluate your weight, your response to that round, if we need to make any adjustments in our weight in the space around us, anything, in our water intake. Take that time now. But the second round, we're going to move through a little bit more quickly. You know what to expect. All right. We'll get another round of practice, some of those little different movements, but we'll go ahead and get up and at it. So again, starting with that stagger swing, whatever foot you want to slide back, we'll start with that hand. 5 staggered single arm swings. 4 and 5. Put that bell back down now in front. Switch those feet, other hand, pull and push. And 5. Good. So we're kind of catering to that front leg on that a little bit bigger range of motion. From those, we're going to that clean and press. All right, from that hip, use those hips, pull it up to that shoulder, and press it up above head. 5 of them each side. And sitting nice and tall for each rep. And number 5. We'll switch to the other arm. I like to sometimes take that hand, a free hand, to the belly button just to help me feel the engagement of those abs. This little tactile feedback. Make sure that I am holding secure. Number 5. And we'll relax on that one. All right, we're going to go back to the single arm, double arm switch here. So 5 on one side, 5 together, 5 other side, 5 together, total of 20. Let's do it. Still keeping that hip hinge. Got 2 hands together. Going to the other side. And one last time together for 5. And 5. All right. That definitely gets heart rate up. We're going to go right into the last movement of the set. We've got our snatch. Going all the way up. Trying to skip that pause at that shoulder. Trying to get one movement from under the hips to over the head. It'll be like a workout song. Under the hips and over the head we go. We have 5 on the other side. Notice I'm taking a small pause at the top just to make sure I'm stable. Trying to avoid any momentum taking me forward or backwards. Trying to get some stability up there. All right, we got 2 rounds down. looking good on time, or take a quick rest at the end of the round. Grab some water. Again, any weight adjustments you need to. Heart rate should be up. All right, should be feeling a little bit. If you're not, all right, we can grab another weight. If you have pretty minimal weight, if you have something that's a little bit lighter, that you could be more of a challenge, we can always take these reps up a little bit, kind of work on just that endurance, or we can do both hands for double the reps. All right, your choice. Those. All right, take about another 10 seconds, and we'll go on to round number 3, starting with that stagger stance. As I talked about real quick at the end of the first or the last round, this front hip is the one that we're kind of loading and pushing out of. All right, this back hand or this back leg is that support leg that's just there for stability. So just focus really on that front hip. All right, let's do it. 5. And a little switch. And 5. We got those clean and press. Next, and then from that standing position, load and explode. Just like that snatch, I'm taking a little bit of pause at that overhead just to make sure I'm stable. And I'm also going to throw in a quick little pause at the shoulder just to make sure that we are separating these movements into 2. That's just for the benefit of some control, some mastery of that press. All right, really trying to work on that range of motion of the shoulder. Get that in a nice, proper position up overhead. All right. All right, you know what time it is. Time for that single double swings. All right, let's go for it. Driving those hips forward. Hip hinge all day. And last 5, 2 hands. And 5. All right. Go down to, again, final one of this set is our snatch. All the way up, one movement. Try to keep those eyes on a nice, good fixed position in front of you. Gonna help to keep that chest up as we dip down and finish tall at the end. Definitely feel a little bit more mobile on that left side. Feels a bit better getting up overhead. Last one. Big punch to finish it up. All right, we got 3 rounds now. Got about 5 minutes. We'll see if we can do it. I think it's going to be really, really tight. But we're going to try to get all 5 rounds in here. I'm going to take a quick break, make sure that energy comes back so we're able to give it our all these last 2 rounds. Just like that warm-up, as I keep reiterating that hip hinge. All right, don't lose that hinge on those swings, even on those cleans, those snatches. Keep strong in that hinge. All right, let's get ready for those staggered round number 4. Let's do it. 5 reps. And 5. We're going to try to keep these transitions a little bit tight. Switching to that other foot for 5. And 5. I'm going to go in for that clean to press. We can certainly use that other arm for a little bit of momentum on that hip swing if you need to. Just try not to put it on that hip. I don't like the people that do that. That's kind of taking your ability to kind of drive through those hips away. So I like to keep that hand a little bit more free. 5 there. Switch right into the other side. Two more here. Making sure we're still getting a pause at the top and the bottom of that press. Definitely getting warm. All right. Moving right into those single, double, single swings at your own pace. 5 of them each. 5. And 5. Big hips pushing that bell forward. And 5, and last doubles. And 5. All right. We're going to finish this one with those snatches ready, and let's do it. Punch it straight up overhead. Good strong base. Got 3, 4, and 5. Switching to the other hand. Finish strong. Make sure we're getting a nice strong wrist up overhead as well. Get those knuckles punching to the ceiling. 4 and 5. All right. We're going to cut our break to about 30 seconds. That'll give us right at 2 minutes to finish our final round. We're going to try to really pick it up and push you through one last time. All right, certainly be in control of that weight, but we'll just challenge ourselves a little bit heading into the weekend. I think we can do it. All right, let's get ready. In 5, starting with that stagger swing. In 2, 1, go. Keep driving those hips. 5 and switching sides. And 5. We're going to go right into that clean to press, holding strong, punching up. We got this, folks. Come on. Keeping grounded through those feet. We got 5 there, switching sides. Let that momentum of that kettlebell as it comes down, using that to help redirect it back up into that clean. All right, so we're trying to avoid just pulling that kettlebell up, but it's also, or it's actually a little teeny swing still through those hips. Number 5, good strong press. All right, single, double, single. Let's do it. 5 of each. Almost there. We got about a minute left. Something like a little time pressure. Help you keep going. There's 5, going to the other arm. And last double. And 5. All right, last movement, folks. We got our snatches. Let's finish strong. Try to knock them out in about 30 seconds. Staying in control. Don't get too ahead of yourself. You still own that weight. You're telling it where to go. Don't let it dictate where your body goes. One big strong motion from the bottom to the top. 2 reps. And number 5. All right. Great job, everybody. That's going to do it. What a buzzer beater there to finish up right on time. I hope you all enjoyed. It was a pleasure serving you as your coach for Equip this Friday evening. Hope you have a wonderful, relaxing weekend. Maybe stretch out a little bit. Make sure you're feeling well. Enjoy some time with your family. We'll see you Monday